there's a lot of hopes behind Liquid. I know, and you should be holding your pros, your favorite pros, up to a higher standard because, well, they should be performing better than what they do sometimes. But Liquid, as we said, right now are just playing pretty well.
Yeah.
Fabas and Villa are 2 banned maps, which means we get to play Kafe.
Back to Kafe. Now, this is what Ninjas Pyjamas did well on earlier. As I mentioned, they were the ones to beat Black Dragons, I believe, previously on it. Liquid, on the other hand, got a draw on it against Elevate. And you know what? I'm going to change my tone on that. I sounded like Elevate, like, wow, Elevate sucks, like, blah, blah, blah. No, not really. Honestly, looking at how they've been doing, they're actually doing okay. So that's more of like an Elevate.
After play day 5 and the performance of Elevate, and I know we're kind of jumping the gun because they're in the next game against MIBR, but let's just put it out there.
We're setting up the contrast.
Yeah, after play day 5, you can start to judge teams. You can't just say, oh, they're brand new, they came from CL, we don't know much about them. After 2 weeks, now you're finishing the 3rd one, there are no excuses. Yeah. That excuse just flies out the window. You can't use it anymore.
It's the second half that you really start to judge them because then you start to have rematches.
Yeah.
As well, because then they should know how their opponents play better.
Exactly.
But yeah, Elevate were the new game in town, and we do sometimes see new teams come in and sweep very well. Elevate actually had a slow start, which is the opposite of what we see from like the Noble syndrome, I like to think of it as, where Noble came into NA and they were like, whoa, bang, oh, wow, Noble's going to be the next great team, and then just didn't even make it through the whole season.
That's actually, speaking of Yeti and Noble back then, but Yeti specifically.
He's back, so.
He's back, but Alfama got his okay for his visa.
I believe it's a 5-year visa as well, so look forward to him playing in NA.
68%.
Wow.
It is a P1 visa, which means that you're entering as a professional athlete. Ooh. And that is a different level of visa, which is huge. As someone who kind of lives and breathes those.
Good for Alfama. So I look forward to seeing more EU play. If Sonics can also somehow get back into Pro League, then we could see 3 EU players in NA. Could be.
Or do it like Rogue, or just move to.
When are we going to get some LATAM players changing regions as well up to NA?
Look, man,
because it's not as far of a journey.
We saw 2 players that came in from Spain last second to sub for NIP.
That was interesting. They played pretty well as well.
They played pretty well.
Yeah.
They were exploring, opportunities.
But they didn't make changes, as we mentioned earlier. They're still the same roster. They didn't go, oh, we want those guys now. No, it's more like, we just need them temporarily. But back to Kafe we go. So this should be different than the last match, at least, I would think. Hopefully different bans at the very least. Although that Thatcher ban's still very likely. See if it's first or second. First it is. They just want to get it out of the way. Make sure it's a sure thing. So it makes sense, though, why it's the first ban, because defense bans first. They're playing defense first. They want to deal with no Thatcher first. So if you think about it, it makes a lot of sense why you'd go with that first.
Yeah, there's a response to take away the Maverick to make sure that you don't, you can't really capitalize and bring the operator just to deal.
Oh, here's something different.
Okay, so we had the Echo ban the previous game. We had both the Maverick and the Thatcher banned out in the previous one, again, between...
Still probably going to be Echo for this last one.
Team 1...
But you never know. Could be surprising.
Mira...
Could be Tachanka.
Mira gets played in Latin America. Way more than other regions, I want to say.
Taking a while
At least that's what it feels like.
Certainly not going to be in this match, though.
Yeah.
So Echo is going to be available now, which should be fun.
Interesting. Interessant.
So that should, in theory, be played at least a little bit. We did see also a fair bit of Goyo play last match. We could see some of that as well here. Hard to tell till we get into things. Capitao with the elite skin, of course. Got to have that. Got to represent. We're going to see Echo. Looks like the first round here. Up at bar. He is very good up in bar. Because if he can stay secure on Cocktail, which is where Maestro would usually be playing, who's now banned, he can sit there on his Yokais, at least position them, provide some extra intel for his teammates. But PSK bringing the IQ means they should be able to spot those. There are going to be some 6 picks, but it's not off the Echo or the IQ. They're going to bring the Zofia after all, and which is great here because the 6th pick from Julio is the Castle. So they both kind of 6th picked into each other. Where Paula is going to be good on that Zofia.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
That should work out pretty well for him. So Attacker's in a good place here. We did see Castle used as well on the top floor defenses last match. Was somewhat helpful in being able to control some of your flanks, funnel the attackers a little bit more. We will see one, actually, Julio putting it up on the window. in Piano. That's going to make it harder for them to fire like a long angle without clearing that first. Unfortunately, with it being outside, if Paula's bringing breach charges, unless they're going to do some kind of jump outs, I don't think it's really going to do much for them, other than make it so that they have to use some sort of utility and a dedicated person to do it. They're not bringing Sledge, which would make that even easier, but nonetheless, a breach charge when you get 3 of them, not a huge deal, not a huge sacrifice in utility. That is probably one of the easiest trades for attackers to make in terms of utility. Besides flashbangs for ADSs.
Exactly, and it's just, it's so common nowadays, this sort of setup.
Well, I mean, because you can use them vertically as well. It's funny, too, because I love seeing cyclic stuff that's like from the early game, besides bullet hole piece. I don't care much for that one, but, you know, because breach charges were in the game originally, and they just never really were that useful, right? No one really wanted to use them all that much. But vertical play wasn't that much of a thing in the beginning, in year 1. I remember when we were talking about it before it was even really a thing. And now that it is more so, and we have sometimes not Buck or Sledge being brought, things like that, you have the extra breachers. Looks like not on Zofia, but some IQ, which is also common.
Yeah.
It's good to see those really being back for vertical play as well as dealing with castles.
And Castle has been definitely spiking in terms of play time.
Oh, wow. Rather than call IQ over, he's just going to punch it? This is really... I don't like this, strictly because you're hanging on the rappel too long. But Psycho going down early. Nesk, great play there on that Ash.
And I'm not sure if it was the Zofia that's sitting on that or is actually sitting closer by the small bar and Piano.
Do you think Zofia was baiting him out, maybe?
I don't know if they were actually holding on to the same angle, like if one of them was...
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't really see where playing it.
No, they're on different angles, so this is just basically the Jaeger was preparing this the entire round.
Well,
and you always expect someone. This is what we were talking about in the last game, where this is how you deal with the barricade. You don't push in. You don't do any of that. You deal with the barricade, you push smoke out using your utility, and then you can deal with them that way.
Oh, he is blind now.
Yeah,
He's got 3 smokes in his pocket, too. Needs to not die with those lost half his health already.
One canister out.
They've all used... So Ash and Zofia have used all of their utility now, though. And they have yet to kill this smoke. So that's actually not bad for the defenders here, especially if Kamikaze continues to burn time to stay alive. They are droning the heck out of him, though. Unfortunately, he's not turning into a whole lot just yet, but hey, he's burning time. He's burned 2 minutes and all of their utility except for 1 flash. He's going to die eventually.
Yeah.
But hey, it's really the loss of the Jaeger on top of that makes a big problem here.
One thing that I'm not sure of is the Ash rotating away. Big reason for that is that, well, now you can't pressure the mute, and he's going to walk over and get a free kill on a PSK. He was trying to look for those yokai drones, but Nesk immediately walked up to the skylight and found another entry. There was supposed to be someone on the skylight watching for these things, so nobody can peek you through this long angle or even up close by the cigar doorway. And that usually shot down an open wall into Piano, which is exactly the position Musi was just looking at. Bit of fire being thrown his way, but there's 2 players left here for NIP. Little time left, though. NIP
nice pre-fire.
This is something you're expecting. It's telegraphed a mile away. Moringa will be able to find 1 kill, but Musi's in the right spot. Do they know where he is? Yes, they do. Nesk will collect yet another one. A bit sloppy there at the end. It all relied on Nesk, but that's how Liquid play in general. Something predictable. They were going to get the Echo eventually, but you know he should have been there.
That did get pretty close to being able to clutch that, though.
Yeah.
Had the smoke even maybe stayed up a little bit longer from the hide-in, might not have been doable in time. Either way, though, despite having lost the site, they'll go down to reading, which I don't think is the greatest choice, but maybe they want to give themselves buffer time to figure out what they want to do next time. No, actually, they'll switch to kitchen, so even less decisive on this. Doesn't bode well, I don't think, but they might have seen the way that Liquid were attacking and thought, well, maybe we'll have a better chance on the bottom floor. I don't know if that'll be true. But it doesn't mean less window repels to deal with in the sense of trying to fight those on the same floor. But good start for Liquid despite it being really close. I mean, kudos to Kamikaze for burning as much time as he did in good play from the Echo, but the loss of the Jaeger early was not a great start for that round. We'll see if they can play a little more Turtle this round. See, it looks like, according to the bans, Nip like this map less than Liquid do, which seem to be fine with it. Look at that, 7 wins. Of course, this is a bit more than just Pro League included in this, but just judging by that alone, Ninjas Pyjamas going to this map was not a great idea. But we'll see how things shake down here. They're going to have a little bit of drone denial now from the Mozzie.
5 seconds.
I don't know. Sometimes I guess I feel like every defense lineup should have like a Jaeger, a Mozzie, a Maestro if he's available. Like there's certain operators they're just so good right now in the current meta.
Again, this is like it turns into your Walmart setup, right? This is why
Is that what it is now? The Walmart setup?
Walmart setup is the one. Well, you know, you got all the basics locked down. You can deal with, you can get information. You can deny the attacker's information. You have someone that can gun.
You know,
have someone that can anchor.
only an EU person would call that the Walmart setup. It's just a funny interpretation. And that's like I don't know what Walmart is, but I've heard about this place and I don't like it.
I have been to one.
I know.
In Canada. I don't know if that counts.
Oh, I don't know if that counts either. It's probably just all Molson Ice or something there. I don't know. I don't even know what it is. Hockey sticks and beer.
Just Canadian Tire everywhere.
And maple syrup.
I mean, that is true. Also, this.
Look at me making fun of you for being the outside stereotyping EU, and then I go land to Canada. America's hat. I say that, of course, knowing we're going to Canada in like 2 weeks.
Let's be honest, Intero does need a hat right now, so
yeah,
I get it.
It's true. Yeah, his head is very...
Right now, it's just Flynn that's hogging all the hoodies, so I get it.
It's true. Nothing to cover up. Speaking of which, make sure to check out that Intero picture on Reddit if you want to see.
Oh my god, the Ronald McDonald one? That's hilarious!
Speaking of Walmart, I think that was probably taken in a Walmart. It looks
Honestly,
like one of those Walmarts and McDonald's things.
I'm ready to show all like photos from when we were young. I'm kind of ready to accept it. So maybe
I can't because I am a robot and I don't have any unless you want to see like my circuit boards.
beep boop.
Yeah.
There's Liquid taking control of top floor, and this is a new way of breaching. Yeah, you get the breach charges. Way better.
I like that air jab there as well. Tucked around the corner.
It's gonna take a while to open up this wall here with the R4. I know it's a good gun.
Yeah, it's not really a floor destroyer.
No, the 5.56 round definitely is not meant for this sort of level penetration.
He's just looking for angles, though. He doesn't really need the whole floor torn up.
Ooh, I like this display with the Electro Claw.
Was he trying to pick it back up? Because it was certainly not in range.
Activating drone.
I mean, this is the sort of strategy I've been seeing so often when it comes to the freezer, right? Instead of completely reinforcing it, you actually contest your opponents as they're trying to come to it.
Well, that's more of a Latin American thing.
I mean, I don't know, man.
General.
EU has been doing it quite
Yeah,
I think a bit.
I think maybe less like overall than Latin America. Yeah, but we're seeing actually EU is starting to pick up some things from Latin. Maybe they're just preparing for Invitational. But Kamikaze, again, it's first to take a bit of damage. He's still alive, though. That's the important thing, is that there's only 37 seconds left. Having Kamikaze alive, especially if he's still got smokes, pretty important. But there's still Capitao bolts to play with. And Nesk trades 1-to-1 with Kamikaze. That's not bad. With as low health as Kamikaze had to make it a trade. Psycho, the one trying to fight these long angles, though, with the ACOG.
Nitro Prime from Pino, as we'll be hearing the Capitao crossbow bolts coming out. Sexy Cake will go for a plant, as he'll try to isolate. But there's a Nitro Cell. That really isolates the attackers, to say the least. And Pino lands the last headshot on Apollo. NIP, without even moving from the kitchen, run the clock down. Liquid slow take bites back.
Well, it does seem like going to kitchen was the right choice for Ninjas Pyjamas. Team Liquid spent way too much time clearing the top 2 floors without getting any picks. Because of that, just so little time left to make the attack. They had decent utility left as well, but because even the Ash, for example, trading onto the smoke, while that technically is a good trade in the last 30 seconds, was just one less aggressive attacker that they had to try and make that time work in their favor. Also good plays from the defenders in Ninjas Pyjamas. We'll see how they do on reading. They don't want to go to bar just yet. They're still thinking about what to do
Attackers
on that.
need to locate and defuse
Which is surprising because it's not that hard. Just play better turtle on bar. Burn their time. I'm just kidding. It's not really that easy, but I'd like to say it is. Just
I'm the all-knowing end.
don't get shot in the head, forehead.
I know everything about the game.
Yeah, I do because I check Reddit. So I know everything.
Hey man,
It's there.
look, sometimes people actually have good ideas. And
That's why I'm there to steal the good ideas and take credit for them.
yeah, why am I not surprised?
Well, I didn't see any like licensing restrictions on people's ideas, so that's their bad.
5 seconds to insertion.
You
Speaking of which, again, can we get more Reddit activity during Latin American games? I know
There's
they're
literally
not
nothing,
as,
man.
They're not as high a viewership, and sometimes maybe the time zone isn't right or whatever. But we could really use some more engagement.
Oh, finally, the match results came out for the last game.
Yeah, people are a little slow on that.
Come on, man. I know. By the way, big kudos to all the mods that keep posting everything.
Yeah, it's.
I know it's.
Sometimes I know they're busy, and there's only so many
How do you
mods.
say when you? It's like when you do something for free to help people out.
I don't know. English is my first language. Altruism.
It's like when I don't know. I completely forget the word, man. It just blanks out.
That's really good.
Hey, the end of it is thank you for doing your work.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to have all of those.
There's that air jab again.
Let's have it whenever possible. By the way.
Very open reading again, like we saw in the last matchup, trying to open up a lot of the walls. That really helps with the retake. So you don't want to be forced back through the same bottlenecks you're trying to force the attackers through, but you open those as line of sight holes more so than rotates.
Oh my God, Pino!
Early kill on Nesk. Great shot.
He was getting all the information all on his own, and even before that,
Yeah.
info brought from his teammates.
This is why Cocktail's so strong, even when it's not the site.
See, this is why it's so difficult to clear players out, and this is why a lot of teams will bring a Zofia specifically for this, because she's just so strong at stunning
Well,
people.
they have the
and pulling them
IQ
out.
as well. They really need to take that out, and they did take out at least one of the Yokais.
Double ADSs to protect the Echo. Paulo's going to go and confirm with his drone that there is indeed someone. You see it at the top here, just looking all the way down. You see, yeah, he's like, oh, I see the Echo. I just don't know what to do about him. So
Yeah.
just watch that position.
Just kill him.
And I'm going to creep up bit by bit to try and contest him. And I think this is exactly what's going to happen here. Moringa firing at the floorboard. Oh no, the Nitro from Julio will come out. Telegraphed there, I guess, from Moringa, but
Pino on great communication, though. Really relaying that information, but now he's going to relay that I am dead. As a great kill from Moringa is going to start to even things up a little bit, but Liquid down to 45 seconds and one-man disadvantage here.
there's no Sopri to deal with Muzi, but the Capitao can do something. Unfortunately, because of the reinforced walls, you're not going to actually have much of an effect. There's Nitro Cell still for Psycho as he's watching White Stairs in this spot you're looking for. He'll lose out one of his teammates, but he'll get the refrag. That's the important bit. You can pop that shield whenever you want to slow things down, as there's 2 players left.
Now's a good time.
Waste
20
time.
seconds left.
Waste as much time as humanly possible. Liquid right now, this
Oh
is the second
no, the
Yokai.
Yokai through the floor.
It at least denies the information, even if you cannot use it. Sexy Cake wasting no time going for the thermite charge, but it's going to be spotted here by Psycho. Did he run in? Yes, he did.
He knows he's
Sexy Cake.
there.
He's going to go and plant. PSK's already gotten 1 kill. He's going to get another. Moose is going to be able to finish off Sexy Cake, though, and that finish off the round completely. Moosey, the late round rotation at the top floor, drops down and finds the important kill.
Taking down the diffuser, they didn't need to fight the IQ. Because there was no way IQ was getting that diffuser in time after.
Honestly, that got way too close. There was no way in hell the IQ should have gotten those kills.
Really well done, though, by Ninja's Pyjamas. Just, again, burning so much time, especially the Echo player. Great job by Echo. I can't remember who it was. I assume Muzi, who's on it now. Just delaying and delaying and delaying. Even when he died. No, it was Pino, I believe, that was on the Echo. But either way, fantastic job. It was a bummer to lose that Yokai. That would have helped provide a little bit of intel towards the end. But what can you do? You can't reinforce the floor. I do hope that's somehow part of an operator or something.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
I'd
from
love to
being
see some kind of
defused by
counter-bladed
attackers.
floors. But that is going to put Ninja's Pyjamas again in a defensive advantage. Last match we saw, though, we had all but 2 defensive wins. There was 2 attacks successful, and that's it. So that shows that out of 11 rounds, only 2 of those being attack-sided. That is looking very defensive-sided yet again. Liquid did win the first round on Bar, and now we're finally going to see Bar again. So, if Ninja's Pyjamas can shore up their defense here and win this and do the full cycle, it's going to look pretty bad for the first start, but then Liquid will be on defense and might just do the exact same thing. We saw the sweep come back fully from Black Dragon the last match, so we totally know it's doable. So getting an early lead here on defense, I don't think is that big of a deal. So,
Did you say that you've never been to a Walmart?
No, you
Walmart?
did.
Yeah,
I'm saying you
I
did.
did.
Yeah.
Gregor!
I was born in a Walmart. What are you talking about?
No, come on, Gregor. Come on, man. Are you listening or not? I have never been to one because I never lived in North America. I only stayed there for like 1 month in 2010 in Canada, and that's like the extent of things outside of SI.
Yeah.
But I'm a dirty European commie, so that doesn't really count anymore.
Maybe he's a Target-only shopper, and he's like, oh, those Walmart people. Well, a lot of time being spent running. I appreciate the carefulness of Liquid, but they really got to do a better job getting like faster vertical top-down control. In this case, at least they don't have to take the top, but
Taking it from White Stairs up is
That's risky.
it's very risky right now.
Because you can't fight white stairs that effectively. If you're trying to take someone in a pixel spot, okay. But you're just not on top of it. The drone distracts him long enough for Ness to get the kill.
Why is there nobody holding on to white stairs?
There's
one kill. PSK finds one.
That's why they went up white. They saw a weakness.
Pino's going to be able to recover with 2 of his own. Kamikaze flashed and dazed and smoked out, but Pino still holds strong. Kamikaze right behind the Capitao smashes him in the back with a shotgun. That really has got to hurt. And yet again, we're left with the Thermite and the AQ versus 3 players.
Right, well, one's got a plant, so it's going to be a 1v3 pretty soon.
And something's got to give.
Oh, wait, I said pretty soon, but there's a minute and a half left. My goodness, that was quick.
I know that walking up white stairs is definitely not the play. If there's nobody in white stairs, there's probably somebody holding on inside of the bathroom. And you smoked yourself, you didn't smoke your opponents. That was the bad play there, and positioning your crossbow bolt. Psycho might be spotted, might be pushed from above, but with so little manpower, you're really relying on time. Yeah, there's Kamikaze with 1 on PSK. You're left with only 1, and you can't really do any damage, even with all the walls that are left soft in front of you. There's something stopping Sexy Cake there, and yeah, I guess right now it's for Liquid to sit back and take their time and understanding what went wrong in the play. And I really have to say, if you're going to push up white stairs, you're going to have a bit more information than just, hey, there's nobody in white stairs. I don't think that's going to be enough. But Sexy Cake's actually going to get 1 kill. Close, but not enough. Pino finishes things off as the man has been popping off today, regardless of the operator. There's an IP with another round.
Well, so far, like I said, defense working out very well. I do think if Liquid, though, just play like we saw, like Black Dragons, they can just completely come back on the side. But they really do want to get at least 2 rounds on the attacking side, like we saw Black Dragons do, because you don't want to go into a 5-1. That's a lot bigger hole to dig out of because you're so much closer to match point there. But now Ninjas and Pyjamas have succeeded in the full cycle. They've just shown they can defend all 3 sides, and so they go back to Kitchen, their first success. As well, they pretty much have to unless they want to go mining dining because of the way the rotations work. So actually, just to be clear, for those of you who don't know how the rotations work, when you win a bomb site, you cannot go to that bomb site again for the next 2 rounds in a row. You don't have to go to 2 other bomb sites like sometimes it gets phrased. You just cannot go to that same bomb site for 2 rounds. So you can go to the same other one and fail it twice in a row. That's fine. But if you continue to win your bomb sites, then you have to go in that rotational pattern where, let's say they win Kitchen like they did, then win Reading, then win Bar. They can't go back to Bar, they can't go back to Reading, so they have to go back to Kitchen or go to the 4th bomb site, Mining Dining. So that's how that works, for those of you who are unclear, or even just not keeping track of how the rounds have been going down. But yeah, back to Kitchen we go here. It's worked out pretty well last time for Ninjas and Pyjamas. We're going to see Nesk going in the buck. I remember seeing in the past Nesk doing a nice job taking out Electro Claws from all the way 2 floors up by bucking through both floors and taking out the one that is on the bakery wall. But it looks like they might have positioned it smarter the last time I saw them on here from the Kaed, which is Pino, in a position that's not as easily taken out. But that is after they buffed the range. So I don't know if that was as doable before the range buff. But it is something to consider. You really want to make sure that people cannot make plays like that to clear out your Electric Claws from 2 floors up. That's not very helpful. We did see a lot of attempts earlier as well to try and hide Electric Claws in their angles due to the way they were reinforcing red side out, as Milos pointed out earlier.
Did I?
And did you? It was right after you said I didn't ever go to Walmart.
It's still... I was mislabeled.
Is people doing inventory at Walmart mislabeled you?
Beep boop.
All right, well, Nesk going to be the one likely to clear Christmas. As we see some defenders rotating back down to the kitchen.
I like the fact that Liquid actually bring the buck for this one. They're expecting Zed, of course, do rotation, etc. But
yeah,
last time they brought the Ash, it wasn't really the play. They lost as well.
Make sure no one rotates up brown stairs late. Yeah, nice thing is there's 3 sets of stairs. You got 3 air jabs, place 1 on each. We see them the way they place it on the red stairs, for example, as well. Just place 1 on each set of stairs.
Smart.
Doesn't guarantee they can't rotate using it, but certainly makes it harder. That's taking advantage of. This is one of the new things about this map in the buff as well, is this floor being destructible, which makes Kitchen a more balanced site as well, because they did buff Kitchen and made it better, but then also to counter that, made the floor destructible on the train.
Who would have thought that introducing one of the pillars of this game into one of its...
No, pillars is just outside.
God damn. introducing one of the pillars of Rainbow Six into a map and consistently every single site actually makes it pretty good.
Yeah. You don't want to make every floor destructible, of course, as well. You want to make some safe spots, because you want to make those also have some counters, so that it keeps the dynamic play alive here. And Ness just looking for any freebies or at least angles he can play off of.
Very curious about the AUG here because, like,
It's rare.
everybody's been running G8 or Commando.
Yeah, we were saying,
you're
like, we'll see the AUG a lot more when Umai is in, probably.
Though you can still run the MP5, but yeah, the damage model on the AUG is quite better, to say the least, even without the.
Well, because you know what, defenders normally have AUGs, but Nesk gets one before Moringa is traded off. Muzi actually gets two out of it though, but the Echo is down, followed immediately from Nesk by the Jaeger. So losing the Capitao and the IQ is actually not great. It doesn't mean, or it does mean you can't likely spot a last Yokai, but at least Echo won't be live to control it.
Now Julio has not been pushed at all, and I don't think if Liquid will even have the time to get to him. So at any point in time now, we might see that Mozzie return back onto the kitchens. Paulo will find Kamikaze, Julio for another, and Pino is going to be lost all up to Julio. Just mentioning him. And here's the rotation. He gets one kill, 0-0-0, and Paulo's going to go in for the plant. Julio walks on up and around the bomb chassis. He'll find the last kill, deny the diffuser from being planted, and NIP, good time play there.
Yeah, once again, Liquid losing off of time constraints. Only because they had to plant, but also great play by the Mozzie in getting the buck first. Once he killed Nesk, he was free to just kill the defuse planter because the defuse planter had to happen. There was nowhere else he was going to plant, no secret spot outside of the kitchen he could have gone to at that point, so it was just, unless Mozzie really goofed, that was a win.
You know what really confuses me is that it took so long still to open that top floor and do work with it. You ended up losing 2 players before you even walked in.
Buck had train and mining control fairly early.
But he didn't get any kills or any results off of it until his teammates walked in.
That's the problem we're seeing across a lot of regions, though, is a lot of these top floor controls, like, say, for example, Kitchen on Villa as well. When you get above it, defenders just move into positions where you don't get kills on them. Kitchen on Coastline as well. When it comes to kitchens, you can't cook from above as well as you'd like. It just doesn't happen. It burns a lot of time. You see a lot of attackers just looking down, looking down, looking down, opening up more holes, looking down. And in theory, it should work because you're corralling them into positions. But I just find time and time again, a pattern I'm noticing is it's burning up time more than anything else. Maybe you gotta use those cooking timers.
I mean, did you just say that you can't cook from above the kitchen that well?
It seems to be that way. Heat rises, doesn't go down.
Come on, man.
They even had a Capitao. They could have just lit the burners from above. We are going to see a Goyo to help cook with that Capitao this round. So there will be, in theory, quite a bit more fire going along with the smoke as well. It's bringing the shield, so that's extra shields. Probably also one, I think, from the Echoes where, well, so a 5 shield defense. Always fun to deal with as an attacker, isn't it? We'll see mute jammers as well. So, should be fun for droning as well if some of those mute jammers are behind some of those shields. Let's get open things up here. Opening both hatches himself and then just starting to pressure down. We see him doing this time and time again, using the angle all the way down red stairs. Try and cut off anyone just trying to think, or thinking they could play a little more secure down there. Psycho holding a nice angle on red as well. Spread out a bit here for this reading defense, but that's what they need to do. They need this top floor control as well. Looked like one Goyo shield likely down there. As you see, the fire was there for just a moment. Fortunately, Goyo shields, when they explode, don't leave any debris behind, so it's hard to tell. But Moringa is going to leave something behind, and that's a body. And 2 unfired firebolts.
Unfortunate there's... Yeah, the Capitao was a pretty big deal. It's even the last round, he died. He used 2 of his crossbow bolts, but they were only enough to block rotations to the kitchen. Here, they will amount to nothing. Grenade will pop the Goyo shield there, but the entire point of having control of Cocktail is to make sure that it's not that easy to just go into reading. You have to watch multiple angles, and Ness is going for the same play you saw before. Yeah, there's the feet spotted. Unfortunately, it's easy to deal with players once that shield is down. Shotgun will open up the hatch, allow Muzi to drop. Paulo will actually be lost. In the meantime, Grenade will sail over, and Muzi escapes with his life. Will need to drop, as the Buck's a bit too slow there to capitalize on that maneuver. A bit hazy here.
Looking really good for Nip, though, despite the low health on Psycho, because Liquid just can't manage their timing. With 3 people left, even less likely they can push this anytime soon.
I know they're feeling it here. Team Liquid trying to push in against Kamikaze on the smoke, but you're going to have to deal with him. Oh, there is one player inside of pillars, and there's the pick you're looking for. It doesn't matter. He got the Heart Breacher. That's all that you needed right now. It is going to force Team Liquid to walk directly into site. Psycho has a Nitro Cell prepped, and he might get pushed.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Here, Ness coming around the corner. He is in default spot. There's a Nitro Cell. It sails over. It hits, but it only does a bit of damage. The Jaeger around the corner as PSK will finish off one, but Muzi with a refrag and another one here to clean up the round. It's Muzi, again, doing work. It's like Muzi and Pino have been just doing so much for NIP. Even when Pino gets lost early on, you're putting him on the Echo, you're putting him on the top floor. Liquid do their due diligence. They go up to the top floor, they try to clear out Cocktail. They do that, and then
They're losing too many people and too much time doing it, though. They're not approaching these last minute, like last 30 seconds with like a 2-man advantage. They're just approaching it with, well, we've opened up the floor above them, so, and that's about it. It's not working. Doesn't matter, though. They switch sides, so they can't try and adjust to it anymore. And at a huge disadvantage, Ninja Pyjamas now 2 rounds away from locking this up and 1 round away from guaranteeing, at minimum, a draw, and that will help them out. As they are not doing nearly as well as Liquid on the charts, so a draw would still help them out because it would help them creep a little bit forward and stop Liquid from, creeping up as well. But now that side switch, will we see Liquid play just as well? Will this just be entirely defender-sided cafes? So far, looking like it. We'll see how this first defense goes from Liquid. As they are starting on bar just like Ninja Pyjamas did, but that was actually the only defense round that Ninja Pyjamas lost, was that very first bar defense. We're not going to see any Goyo here this time from Liquid, but we are going to see probably, or possibly, 2 shields if the Echo and the Smoke are both bringing one, but hard to tell right now. I think I see at least 1 by Sexy Cape. We're going to play there, very likely placed by himself. Yep, and not sure if Moringa brought one as well. He could have just brought barbed wire. I do think the way that they rearranged who has deployable shields actually worked out pretty well overall.
Yeah.
I think, like, for example, taking it away from Maestro I think was a good idea. And giving it to Echo actually I think was not bad. Same with Smoke. So you have to make some choices. I think overall shaped out pretty well. I don't know.
it's still, you can really overwhelm the attackers with the amount of
But that's because of
shields.
Goyo, not because of
Exactly.
who has shield.
100%. Because, I mean, well, who was it? I think today Siskat posted a photo of, like, the old IGLs for the top 4 teams that made it to Season 1 finals. And you're like, yeah, you cheesed your way into Pro League with 3 shields every round. That's basically Youngtus back in the day.
Oh, jeez.
For those who remember. Yeah, it was even worse back in the day. I would have thought. Well, here we are now, 5-1, NIP demolishing Team Liquid, even with Liquid getting those early picks. Well, I was going to say
snip to get one.
Here it is.
Pino, nice early kill though. I mean, it's just on the Jaeger. It's not going to be a huge deal, but early kills definitely help given the time management we saw from Liquid. However, it's traded back on Namuzi potentially if he can get picked up, and well, actually, it's going to be Pino today. So actually, it's a 3v4 essentially. Well, there's no way he gets back up.
Why are you?
Oh, now it's essentially a 2v3.
Are you doing the same thing that happened in the first game tonight? What are you? Why? Why would you just walk in there with no info?
To keep you excited.
With no clearing the top 4.
They heard you, and they were like, you know what? Milos deserves another round. Like,
look, man, if you're going to come in...
Another round for this man.
If there's nobody... You drone in. You see that there's somebody inside of reading, you don't go in solo. You always imagine...
There's only 2 doorways.
There's got to be at least someone helping him out in White Stairs. This is kind of always going to be the case. And PSK had that support. He had also Nesk supporting him there on the Jaeger. So overall, mistakes were made, to say the least.
To hear from Julio.
Yeah, you can do this, by the way. It's a long angle that you can use to Scar. There's the Scar is being used, and they're all going to get shot down.
Oh, no.
Thanks to Moringa.
Yeah, you kind of need to put some pressure out there on the first freezer. Good smoke. It's going to cloud him out a little bit, but he still manages to get into bar. However, the Yokai spots him, stuns him. Now it's going to be down to the player, the smoke, doing his job. Now he's got a body to help cover him, just right through the smoke. Easy peasy. Now Liquid on the defensive wins here.
the quad kill, if I'm not mistaken, for Moringa in the round. They all lined up for him. Same mistakes here. You're smoking yourself.
So now Liquid
Don't
have
do
won
that.
2 rounds. The first round of attack and the first round of defense.
Will that be it? That's the big question.
Definitely could be possible just because the huge 5-1 lead they had meant there was a good chance they were able to shut it out before Liquid's able to get too many rounds. And sometimes those early leads do matter. A 4-2 early lead doesn't matter as much as Black Dragon showed earlier, but a 5-1 lead, that's pretty significant. I know it's only a difference of 1, but it's first to 7. So if you get there first, that's all that matters. So, see Kamikaze make a last-minute switch between hard breachers. They're going to bring in the Nomad this time instead of the Gridlock for Nip. Pino just needs to finish loading here. Buy an SSD, bro. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he has one or not. But as someone who actually doesn't own an SSD on one of my computers, I definitely feel the pain.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by
Kitchen
attackers.
time. Let's see how they play this out. No Mozzie play coming out here so far from Liquid. Despite the little bit we saw of both Mozzie and Goyo from Nip. So a little bit of difference here. But they're definitely taking advantage of the Echo not being banned. Sexy Cake setting up a shield to be able to defend the bottom dining there. In the VIP section. Can help reinforce the freezer as well. We are obviously going to see some Electric Claws from PSK on the Kaed to be able to stop some of the walls from being open. Very likely the bakery wall into the main area, as well as possibly the prep. He wants to trick that one as well, or place an Electric on. He has the 2 he can use, so
5 seconds left.
depends on whether he wants to double down on one wall or spread it out. We're just rarely seeing like a bandit or anything being used for those, just because it's too difficult to really keep that up. And with Thatcher banned, you know, it's so much more effective. Especially when it's Thatcher Maverick. It's like, there's not really any way. I mean, you could play Bandit on it, I suppose, then, because without the Maverick, there's not much they can do either. Looks like a drone being expected there, I believe, from PSK. Good shield here. Nesk just waiting. Playing a little aggressive, though. It is nice to control the back of white. You do want to do that to make sure Freezer can't be controlled. Because if you go for a Freezer drop, you very likely want to also have the Freezer wall open, so you can play from bottom white to try and help support it, as well as to rotate out once you get the plant down. At least some good droning here coming out. Yep, but we saw that be a problem for Liquid in terms of time management. So droning is great. Droning you should do, but you need to follow it into the building, and you need to continue to roll forward and not just look around, do a little tourist thing with the drones.
Can we get some Twitch tours in chat? Thank you very much.
Can we get some donates in chat? Thank you very much.
Exclamation mark donated, by the way, to help support the cause of dealing with the
We want to keep
virus.
Dev Marta around.
and everybody down there. Of course, it is an international calamity. Problems and things like this that happen in Australia affect everybody in the world, as the entirety of the world can.
Yeah. As I've said before, as someone from California, I know the feels. It's really not great.
And as well, Lebanon had like terrible fires as well throughout the past few months.
Oh, almost Pino realizes too late.
Ooh.
There was almost free, but did a little bit of damage, I believe, onto Moringa, but no second glance, unfortunately, for him. Too bad, too, because I was talking about how little they get in terms of top-down kills there. That was almost one.
And really, if you're not getting kills, you're at least providing line of sight for your teammates to be planting later, and you being able to cover them.
The problem is they're not moving to that planting set fast enough.
Exactly. There's so many players outside, and right now at the minute mark, you can start.
Oh, nicely done.
Great pick on Moringa.
That's the smoke down.
At the 50-second mark is huge. This forces PSK to walk in, use his last Sertila. They can snipe this one from above, and I'd assume that at some point this will be done. Nesk can rotate later on.
Oh, you see
protect
the
his
yokai.
teammates. Yeah, this is what you want. You want to guide Nesk up as Sexy Cake uses his yokai as a drone. They're going to lose their yokai, and Nesk, yeah, he peeks around. They lose a yokai, and the mutants have half HP. You're not going to win this one out. And I assume there's an air jab that had already been pre-placed by Julio. Yeah, you're 20 seconds left. You can go in and plant right now, especially since you dealt with yokais. I'm not sure if both of them are down, but you got to watch out for PSK here. He's got a great angle to deal with you. Psycho will get one kill on Nesk, but Paulo with a refrag on to Psycho. Paulo holding on here from the walk-in closet, but Muzi wins the gunfight, pre-firing the soft wall into the big bar. Kamikaze will walk into the kitchen though and start on planting the yokai at the last second. There was still one more left, and NIP did not do their job. Unfortunate, but this is what you get.
Attackers didn't win again? That was decent. I mean, it was a decent job. They managed to get some kills from above at least. But just the Echo, honestly, being unbanned is actually kind of hurting here. The Echo was, although to be fair, Echo was banned last match, and that didn't seem to make that much of a difference. But it seems to be working. They're playing the Echo well, both teams. Here's the answer, though. You know what? We're not getting in fast enough. Aw, disappointing. He was going to go to the Monty, but went back to IQ. Wah-wah. Would have loved to see that push there, but it's for reading here. Maybe they'll save it for a different bomb site. Decided against it, but I'd like to see it in the future just to really speed things up here. We'll see the Echo in play again, and they will also have the Valkyrie for extra cams to be able to spot what's going on, but with the IQ in play, those are likely to get taken out fairly quickly, as potentially are the Mute Jammers. Lots of gadgetry to deal with. Reading defense, of course, they've got to set up this upstairs. See how they do on that. I do wonder if we'll see a Nesk jump out with those cams, if he's got one off on the east side, as is very common to have one, just in case you want to jump out white window, or even reading door on those east sides. Always risky to get back in, but sometimes it works. Nesk doing quite well, but Pino doing even better. Looking good for Steam Muzi as well. Those two really helping, part of the reason it's 5-3 right now. But also their ability to delay in those 2v2 situations and things like that towards the ends of their defensive rounds earlier really made a difference on why the score is the way it is. Just denying. Weird of them to put it that far up to the door, but I'm sure there's a reason why it's not just far over by the other door to the right. The air jab's being set. That one, I don't know if I like as much as the one that was kind of tucked.
It's a bit too high.
Yeah, it's a little more visible as well. A little more counterable, possibly by an impact. Who knows? We haven't seen a lot of these air jabs go off.
No, we haven't heard any of them. It's just there hasn't really been any late flanks, something like that that's been used. So I guess the threat of them might be enough. It's like mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
You just have so much power that unlimited power. There's the Yokai again being set up to watch for the bar. This is Liquid. What they've been doing is just walking through Cigar and then vaulting up on the bar, pushing up very closely to Cocktail, and then dealing with the Echo sitting in there. But right now, Nesk is trying to provide that protection. He might jump out at some point. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. We saw one jump out today, and there's a bit of a pop here that you hear at the window. Seko's holding on to white stairs just in case, and he's going to come around the corner to clear things out in support of Pino. The Yokai is going to be sprung.
Wow, how did
PSK.
he lose that?
I don't know how PSK finds the headshot
They're
here.
both down.
They don't know if he's down or not.
Wow.
Julia gets the Fisher on a Nesk.
This is looking really good for Liquid to finally get an early round, potentially.
You say that, though, but PSK is down. The Nitro for Moringa somehow hits Muzi. He was so far away. Grenade being primed that it won't be used.
PSK needs to be finished off here. He's providing too much intel on top of white.
This is an important part, is that you can support your teammates inside a bar by playing inside of reading. But if you're vaulting on top of the bar, that's the difficulty. Well, the defenders can't really deal with you at that point. Shield's going to be lost. Sexy Gate's going to be forced out. And with 30 seconds left, NIP will have to watch for all these
they pick
locations.
PSK back up.
Oh, no.
Now 4v3, although as I say that, he finally gets finished off.
There's the finisher, but there's a lot of time to deal with here. Oh, they trade off 1-to-1. It turns into a 2v2. There's two shotguns, though, in play. And Paulo is watching the drop. If he looks away, no, he loses the gunfight. Julio's somehow alive. Moringa's going to try to scramble to save the round here. One kill on the Nomad, already down, but somehow the skeleton key hits and Pino clutches the round out of nowhere.
That's embarrassing because Nip won those fights every time on defense.
Oh my god, it's like they fired at the same time.
But wow, well done by Pyjamas. Liquid just not being able to pull off the shotgun fiesta at the end. That was such flashbacks of Ninjas and Pyjamas defenses as well on reading. Yet somehow they came ahead, and now they have locked out Liquid from getting a win. They're looking pretty good here to be able to close it out as well, because it's going to take 3 perfect rounds in a row from Liquid to be able to stop Ninjas and Pyjamas from just winning this outright. That's a big help. The Monty, there, it's coming out here for Bar. As I believed earlier, they were just choosing to use it on a different site. especially now that they won the last round. They have a little bit more leeway to try something. See if this will help with Bar. Maybe they'll just push it straight down. The real problem, though, is dealing with that smoke. We saw how effective he was for the Freezer last time. If they could just clear smoke out of Freezer Moringa, if they could just push him back, or do something to deny him, and let that Monty push up, there's really not much that's going to stop him. Other than the Echo, I suppose, a little bit, to be able to stun him. But you only get 2 hits on that before you have to recharge. So, see what Ninja's Pyjamas can do with this Monty. Usually the big threat, though, isn't necessarily in pushing down Bar. It's really in pushing down White. Hallway, all the way past the bathroom, towards a bomb site cocktail.
10 seconds to insertion.
We'll go with the standard setup here.
Yeah, the Monty though from NIP is definitely the big thing, the big standout.
Yeah, if they could pull it off.
Attackers have
Pino's still up there at 13, looking pretty good. No one in double digits yet on Liquid's side, but they are 3 rounds behind, so not a surprise there. Usual shield placement to be able to help fight Bar. Moringa getting that last minute barbed wire. See a lot of barbed wire. Saw at least 2 players are bringing barbed wire in this round because we saw quite a bit of barbed wire on the New Drop Cigar side as well. All right, what is Psycho gonna do with that Monty? We have sometimes seen Monties on these attacks actually be used to clear some of the bottom floors first, quickly, to see if they could pitch out any roamers or force them upstairs. But I don't know if they're gonna bother with that this time. Might just be used to quickly get Christmas, control, or piano, and then push from there onto a white hallway. Right now, still full utility to be able to do whatever they need, but not nearly as much shield play from Liquid as we saw from Ninja's Pyjamas that were playing the Goyo, the Smoke, the Echo with all shields.
bomb located by
Just the
attackers.
minimum amount for them. Okay, the Monty rattling around as well. He's going to go take this control. This is what we talk about when he goes to take control of White. Pushes up to here, clears the barbed wire, makes sure bathroom stays clear, and then they take control from there all the way up to where Nesk is playing right now because what is he going to do? He looks up, he goes, that's a shield.
He's
Oh, boy.
just standing
He knows. He knows. This is not good.
menacingly.
The Yokai, though, being used here to help support Paula, he needs to throw the C4 at the right time to try and even get someone behind the shield because the shield will not block the blast
Exactly.
for the player behind.
It'll only block the blast
For Monty.
to the Monty himself. But if you set the Yokai correctly, you can push the Monty off his shield, and then the Nitro will be able to.
If only they had an IQ to be able to take out that Echo drone. It is only, as I said, going to get 2 shots before it has to recharge. That gives a chance for Psycho to push up. But he's not going to take it. They're clearing bathroom instead. Trying to use push Freezer, but they lose the buck in the process.
I am not sure about that one there, Chief.
Oh. Remember when Monty didn't have the side shield and the top shield?
It does take quite a bit of time to ADS, but still Psycho wins the gunfight. Nesk on the run out outside.
He's stuck outside now, though. This gives Monty a chance to rotate faster at the man disadvantage here.
There's 3 players left on the site, so they can possibly push into this here.
2
NIP.
smokes left.
Nitro Cell has been primed behind Psycho. At least you can hear it somewhere. Double Yokai as Nesk has already gotten up from Brown Stairs. They'll trade 1-to-1 here. And this Moringa will find Muzi. Turning around the corner, Kamikaze, can he get the kill? He's low on HP here. Flashbang's in. Psycho connects on a Sexy Cake. Moringa will use the smoke canister and might push the Habana away. No, he's dropped. He's on the floor. He's down. Psycho going in for the 1v1 fight, but it gets shot from the side as Nesk is finally rotated up White. What is happening? Man, that's a sloppy Joe there.
Moringa is doing work from that Freezer. Like, he's just shutting them out from that. Time and time again. The Monty got into play early, and they just couldn't actually do anything with him. All of his support players for him were getting killed. He was the only one to even get a kill out of that, I think. And Nesk rotating around, that was the one advantage they had in terms of, like, evening out the man count. But the entire time they spent doing that, Nesk was able to rotate back up and get all the way back upstairs to help with that last kill. It's just not great. I liked the idea of the Monty, they just couldn't play it effectively enough. So we'll see what they can do for Kitchen. They're not bringing the Monty again. They're going to 6-pick to the Thermite. Makes me think maybe they're going to try and do something to open up the Freezer wall or the Kitchen wall. There is usually only going to be 2 Kayak claws, and they're catching that there's no secondary bandit or anything like that. The Mozzie finally coming out, though, from Liquid. Something different than they were doing before. Nest's going to be doing that. But will the Thermite be enough to change things here? Will he be able to open up a wall that really puts a hole in Liquid's defense? Enough to make it work, because Kaid can only, as I said, get 2 walls. While he can get 3 panels, none of these walls are 3-panel. If he does do the Freezer, though, he can potentially, I believe, get the walls and the hatch from one of the positions. So he may choose to use one there and one on the bakery wall, and then save the and not bother with the wall into prep, as it's less important.
5 seconds left.
But actually, it looks like they might have left the bakery wall possibly soft. Or not the bakery, but the freezer wall partially soft with a hole in it.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
Hard to say because the scoreboard's in the way, unfortunately, right now. Oh, perfect timing. Goes away right when I can't see me. Now we can tell. Okay, it is going to be left soft, so that might really deter Thermite from bothering with that. Does free him up to use electrical elsewhere. They are concerned about a possible run on the doorway, but there isn't going to be one for now. Instead, they look to try and take control of bakery early if they can. Also going to need to look for Yokai's, because Sexy Cake's still going to be on that Echo. But Liquid's got to get 2 more rounds in a row to tie this up. Entirely possible that Ninja Pyjamas can pull one off here. So far, the only win they have had, though, is on the reading. If Liquid win this round, then we do go back to reading, which offers up some opportunities for Ninja Pyjamas to close that out in a 7-5. Entirely plausible. We see that. Also, 6-6, very plausible. As we said, pretty even match between these two teams here. So this is the one that should go the distance, and actually it looks like it is going to instead of being one-sided, thankfully.
Yeah, there are opportunities, to say the least. And NIP can seize them, but Liquid's defense have been... The defenses, they've been pretty solid, to say the least. And it's NIP trying to find cracks to go through them, but...
At least it hasn't been on time as much for Ninja Pyjamas as it was for Liquid. You know? Liquid really had poor time management, whereas Ninja Pyjamas just losing too many people.
That's very true. It's just off of some of their own mistakes of kind of trying to rush in a bit too early, but also Liquid just being more active, and that's something that Liquid are very well known for, especially having Nesk on that squad. Yokai is being run away, or is being kind of taken away from the entry here from the bakery, will be demolished by a grenade being dropped down from mining.
I like that Yokai being set up to support dining there.
Doesn't seem like they will be pushed through there, but Julio is definitely trying to put some pressure from the lobby. Yeah, there's the Yokai. He's going to be pushed away again.
He used all his skeleton key and is forced to shoot through the floor. Pino,
Yeah.
not great. Not great ammo management.
Definitely not great there. I'm going to try to walk on in, but again, it would have been great to have the AQ close to taking down Paulo, though, as Sexy Cake is in support. If you find the kill on the Echo, this is definitely doable right now. Muzi around the corner. He's going to turn it. Psycho's already gotten one. He knows where opponents are. He has the stuns. My man, Muzi, use them. For God's sake, you have them. But he still finds the kill. Diffuser set. There's only Nesk and PSK left, but Nesk will be able to find one. They're both stuck inside of that.
Oh, this is looking like a shutout 7-4 here.
And the freezer was just the death.
Oh no, Nesk!
Again, misses the shot and misses the follow-up. NIP victorious. Liquid mess it up.
Much better attacks.
And how did the Zofia even win all of that? There was 2 people inside of the bar, 3 even if you count the one in the back by the freezer. 2 of them were still left on the side and then rotated back.
Well, that's 2 cafes now that have ended in 7-4.
I can't believe that this skin is in play, actually, but hey, that's just me. It's like, yeah, we took out Ember Rise, but this one is pretty close to it.
Yeah, there's a variety of skin things.